This is how where you are suffering from macroeconomic instability. That is Oman who be our engineer, Oman from Chile, Edos. Ghana, we share our Pesama. I fear that inflation was so far. Now, it's just a house and was so far. 1980. Now, inflation here 122.8. You work at 123%. I want to end now. The era I want is pressure. Now, over no more than after the 3 well, yeah, over no more time.
Will not buy no would do my activity in the economy. NASA also 181%. HSA. Let's have interaction. Yeah, interaction. Bent Cultural Radio Soon Cassette, which service on $1 the go. $1 the cose. $1 the cose. Yet communicators. Sika mpede de no. Saa na pese ekyire. Sa wo try na wo ka de bia what you market ko ko he kra ko mu $1 no bi grant. Obi di me ka kiti na kwa koto bi. No da ko de. On fa nye. It's a wo kasa. Ni ahwe kasa no so yi. Because no so e say reduce e $1 so e koso. Na obisa say countries are ọmụ ka no ɛso no ọmụ ho nchi o eti adịghị na yɛ ka no ketewa bi no yɛ ho chi yɛ ɛdɛ na ɛnyɛ ne yie. Very good question. Yɛ ka sɛ Japan is around 200 and something. In fact, the last one will be Quebec. Quebec is at 127% debt to GDP. But otimi chia ne ka. Nti ne ho ɛnhyɛ no. Na menka sɛ ɛnɛ yɛ ɔsɛn asa June 70.6%. Sɛ meka sɛ yɛakɔ 181 pen in 2000. Ɛno koraa na me sɛ yɛante ne bia.
Say everything is wrong. I did conclude that inflation currently hovering around 23.8%. It's really very high. And I even said that is where I think this government, if you compare to President Mahama, you must say he's doing well because President Mahama left inflation at 15.4 and today it's 22.8%. And when we talk about inflation, that is the best indicator that you can use to measure economic hardship. Therefore, once it is 22, it means that things are not that good in terms of increases in the general level of goods and services in the country. But then explain why we are where we are. That Nana Akufo-Addo taking inflation at 15.4%, managed to push it downwards to 7.6% September 2019, and that happened to be the lowest since March 1992. Unfortunately, something called COVID came from nowhere. And because of that, the prices for goods and services went up. So by January 2022, inflation has gone up to 13.6. And we were hoping that it would come down until Russia invaded Ukraine. And that caused a lot of things. For example, before then, fuel price at the global front was going for $72. Before we could say that it had gone all the way to $122. Dollars, and I do not think that any president of Ghana could have done anything about it. Today we produce oil, but the fact is that we still go outside the country to buy oil from Holland and other places. They refine crude oil, and so once global prices go up, definitely your prices, the pump prices should go up, and that is the fact. And so what it means is that as a government, you do not have absolute control over the pump price for crude oil. What maybe you may want to do is to knock out the taxes. And if you do so, the question is where are you going to get your revenue to pay workers and to do other things that you always would have to get money to make sure the economy stays afloat. And so as a government, we cannot knock out all the taxes on petrol. Maybe what the government can do is also help city to stay, the stability of the city. If city remains very stable, that also goes into our pump price for oil. prices. And let me say that for that one, currently as we speak, we have 3.1 month import cover, and that translates to about 6.7 billion US dollars in our reserves. That is far higher than what President Mahama left, 6.1 billion. So some people say that exchange rate is not doing well. And that is why pump prices of refined oil have gone up. I tell them that there's nothing we can do looking at the current situation, because even though the bank is doing what Bank of Ghana has been pumping in more dollars, but because the demand has gone far beyond the supply, we still see having problem. The question is, how do we get out of here? We can only get out of here if we work to improve local production. Agricultural sector, you do very well to make sure rice, we spend about $1.2 billion every year on rice importation. So if you are able to deepen rice production, what we would have spent to import rice, we wouldn't need it anymore. In other words, the demand for dollar will come down once we produce more rice. And let me comment that this government has done really well when it comes to rice production. Now, rice sufficiency rate is 49%. What that means is that for every 100 bags of rice that a Ghanaian consumer eat, 49 of them are being produced in Ghana. And that's a very good news. Government has set up factories, rice factories available in other places around the country. And that has pushed the rice production to that level. We also need to look at the manufacturing sector. And to me, since the demise of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah from the political scene, there is no government that has done so well with industrialization as this government. 1D, 1F, yes, there are challenges. But let me say, it is a very good step in the right direction, and they have done best when it comes to manufacturing. In fact, recently when the Ghana's Statistics came out to say the economy is growing 4.7% during the first quarter of the year, we were told that the industrial sector is doing so well, and that's where the manufacturing sector is. Manufacturing sector has picked up. It is doing so well. Indeed, let me say that today we have sales car assembly plants with a capacity to produce over 120,000 cars. And so that's how we build Ghana. What it means is that we have car manufacturing plants produce enough cars that we need, assuming